Of course, it's my day 20 of the GFF Men's Division 1. Hello, good afternoon, wherever you might be getting our voices and signals. Of course, welcome to the Live Your Dreams Football Complex. Of course, Live Your Dreams Football Field in Basuri, the home of champions Real de Banjul. And it is a clash between Real de Banjul, the champions, and second place Fortune Football Club. And the ground is all set. And it is all set for this huge clash. What are we waiting for? Of course, the clash between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. Champions Real de Banjul dressed in all white shirts, white shorts and white socks, whilst the traveling boys of Fortune Football Club dressed in their colorful white and blue, green shirts, green shorts and green socks. And surely Real de Banjul will be playing from our left to right from our commentary cabin, whilst Fortune kicks from our right to left. The central referee, of course, this afternoon is Ibrahim Janko Sama. Abisisa is the first assistant referee. Mustafa Bojang. Aisha Tuture is the match commissioner. Kaba Jiba is the match commissioner, of course, and Alaji Sane is currently serving as the referee assessor from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex, of course, the home of the champions Real de Banjul. Salu Jallo, this is not just only a game, but of course it is a title decider between champions Real de Banjul Football Club. Real de Banjul need a point to be crowned. Football Club will definitely want to deprive champions Real de Banjul from securing the trophy of this year's GFF Men's Division 1. Salu Jallo, do I need to welcome you or you welcome me? Of course, it is the home of the champions Real de Banjul and currently a title decider between Fortune Football Club and champions Real de Banjul.
Let's welcome each other. That is it. But then a very important game to watch. Fixture. Well, before this day, the start of the league, if we are told that coming to Basuri on this fateful day, the 19th of June 2025, will be a title decider, you might say no, the league is always dramatic. Yes, it is dramatic, but we could have, of course, enjoyed at the final dance of this year's competition. But it seems to me they're closing the chapters early as possible. Well, champions elect pending, that is Real de Banjul. Probably they will be married to that mantra today after the 90 minutes. Well, a point will do for them. What a way to be a champion at your own patch. But then can Fortune prolong the celebration? Can Fortune delay the celebration? Remains the $1 million question. But then they have a player that is, of course, currently on the limelight. That is, of course, Ibu Sanyan Torres won Player of the Month award in more than 2 occasions. It's just amazing. But then they also have, you look at the Real de Banjul side, a very young and determined players, very young. You know, the likes of Kebe and Co, who are doing the nominating jersey for the boys in white, that is Real de Banjul. Well, home advantage is always an advantage. It is over to the center referee to give us what we are expecting in the 90 minutes, and it's over to Fortune and Real de Banjul. Well, they were chasing, but it seems to me now most of the teams are now chasing shadows, and Real de Banjul are winning the league. Early on, the coaches will tell you, or the assistant coach of Real de Banjul, or the technicians, that is coaches, will be telling you catch us if you can. But it's more of like, if you cannot beat them, you join them. But then now you have to join the race because the burden is already with Real de Banjul.
Thank you very much, Salu Jallo, and of course it is all coming to you live from the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri, of course the home of the champions, and the champions up against second place. Of course it's a title decider, winner for, of course, the champions, of course the home of the holders, and a victory for Real de Banjul will surely crown them the 2025 champions of the GFF Men's Division 1. Of course a point, of course, will surely do, and also a victory will also do. And into the commencement of this crucial and lively contest from the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri. And before going deep into the commentary, a quick rundown on the starting 11 for the champions and the home side Real de Banjul, who are currently starting with Lamin Sedi in goal, Mustafa Nyasi, David Sambu, Ibrahim Ake Jata, Hassan Jiba, Ibunene Gassama, Alassane Sedi, Mustafa Baji, Momodu Jobate, Abdullah Balde and Suwaibu Kebe, completing the 11 for the home side, of course, Real de Banjul, under the guidance of head coach Ibrahim Jata. Jata, who is having the assistance of Ibrahim Acham. And Fortune, under the guidance of Jane Juve and Mustafa Jaju, is starting with Nuha Sanyang in goal. Ibrahim Toure, Bakari Sise, Sambujang Toure, Abdullah Tamba, Seni Jata. Of course, Seni returned after serving his match suspension. Ibu Sanyang, the former Real de Banjul player, is already in the starting 11 for Fortune Football Club. Adama Kante, Salifu Koli, also another former Real de Banjul player. Gaira Juvan, Ferdinand Jata completing the 11 for the travelling boys of Fortune Football Club. And Fortune is currently second, whilst champion Real de Banjul leading the chart, and already that's going to be retaken. Of course, Ali Ujalo, we believe this is going to be an interesting game. We have two players playing for Fortune who were former players of champions Real de Banjul, Ibu Sanyang and Asali Fukuli.
Absolutely, and they're here on a different mission. They're not here to put a smile on Real de Banjul. That is not the mission. That's why they're here. They're here to play their part in the quest, of course, for delaying the title celebration for the holders, that is Real de Banjul. But you look at also the other striker, that is the number 9 for Fortune, a very experienced Gaira Juve, to be precise. But then Adama has been, Kebe has been a very instrumental player, one of the leading goal scorers for Real de Banjul in this year's competition.
That's a strike coming from Jobate into the gloves of the custodian Nuha Sanyang. Back to you, Saliu.
Yes, indeed. As I was saying, yes, Fortune have experienced players, the likes of Salifu Koli, and of course Ibu Sanyang, the likes of Gaira Juve and Co. But then Real de Banjul are very much determined. They have the experience, they have the formula how to win big games like this. But this fixture will surely defy the moments today.
Thank you very much. Words of a colleague and brother, Saliu Jalo, of course, coming from the home of the champions, Real de Banjul. Live your dreams football complex in Basuri. This is Mustafa Anyasi around the center circle, having it tough against Ibu Sanyang. And Ibu is penalized by the central referee, and of course the referee is Ibrahim Ajanko Sama. Abi Sise is one of the assistants, Mustafa Bujang. Aissatou Toure is the 4th assistant referee. Kaba Jiba is the match commissioner. Fortune Football Club around the 18. Ibu Sanyang strikes. Inches over the crossbar. That never troubled the goalkeeper, but very close, Saliu Jalo.
Yeah, because the problem was the player went on for a very quick play there, but the player in question who was fouled wasn't aware of what is happening. That's why Fortune capitalized on it, and they have to connect the dots with Salifu. But Ibu's strike was too powerful. That could have been a very good punishment for Fortune on the side of Real de Banjul. But that is also a wake-up call for the midfield department for Real de Banjul.
Of course, indeed a wake-up call, and of course it is interesting in and off the field. Already off the field, there's also another entertainment outside.
Yes, they have been together. Remember, they are part of the people that contributed immensely in their last year's journey to be crowned champions. That is the Marakisa Cultural Group, to be precise. Having an interview with them on Kabedal FM at Caravan Avenue, they did talk about having a partnership with some of these division clubs, and Real de Banjul came calling, and it was more of like putting pen to paper. And since then, they have been together. They have been very much supportive. The 12th man on the pitch is very important, and this will of course reignite the players' spirits and give them that courage and motivation in this journey.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jalo, and back to the live commentary. Ibrahim Toure Fortune connects Adama Kante up front. Adama trying to hold that ball off the area, and already the ball is already in play, and already it's an infringement on Adama Kante, and Fortune will have now the opportunity to deliver a set piece inches off the dividing line, and they will now rely on either one of the central defenders. Ferdinand Jata, Sambujang Toure is one of the central defenders, and he is currently the team captain for Jane Juve on his side. This is the custodian Nuha Sanyang having it tough. Can they get something? Nuha slips in the process. Is that going to be the first goal? And of course it's a defensive blunder, and that's a goal coming from Swaibu Kebe, and Swaibu broke the deadlock after that howler coming from the netminder Nuha Sanyang, and Fortune of course trailed by a goal to nil against the champions Real de Banjul, and the champions are currently leading by a goal to nil. Swaibu Kebe broke the deadlock, and of course he is currently on a fine form. Kebe Swaibu, he finds the back of the net to give the advantage to the boys in all white. Champions Real de Banjul are on course of defending their crown, of course at home at their very own turf, the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri, Saliu.
A poor defensive error there. It cost them. That is the tall lanky central defender for Fortune. Jane is very bitter. Jane is very bitter. He's not happy. He was at one point that when the ball was lost, he was looking like a spectator, and it now cost them the number 4. Well, this way giving them this kind of a welcoming remark simply means that you're trying to celebrate them in their own patch. That is Real de Banjul. Are they tested to the limit in this competition? Remains well. The last time they were tested to the limit was against Marimo at the Serekunda Ismini Stadium, in which they have to fall 2-0 to restore parity in added 1-all. But a defensive howler can't win you. Defensive howlers can't win you the league, to be precise.
This is Adam Akante who strikes into the gloves of the custodian Lamin Asedi.
Well, that was just a silver platinum, like a golden opportunity given to Swaibu Kebe, more of like a benachin to feed on, and Swaibu just tapped it in an empty net. Well, the goalkeeper was also not on a high alert, but it still came on. It's an entrance of you might see an equalizing goal before the end of the first half.
This is Gaira Juve who tries to dribble past his marker around the edge of the 18. Back to Adam Akante. Fortune enjoying possession in their opposition's half. It's already a busy technical area for both gaffers. This time it's a strike caught out by Ibrahim Jata. Adam Akante regained possession. This is coming from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri, and of course it is live in the GFF Men's Division 1. Of course, the top of the table clash between Fortune and champions Real de Banjul. And currently champions Real de Banjul led by a 0-0. This time Adam Akante trying to go solo. Can they get something from this? Blocked in there by Ibrahim Jata. And Ibrahim just there in time to cut that ball. Defensively, of course, the goal is definitely a wake-up call for the champions, of course, for Fortune Football Club after going down by a 0-0 after that defensive or goalkeeping howl from Nuha Sanyang, the custodian.
Goalkeepers win your matches, but defenders win your titles. And that number 15 did just that to defend a lead for the time being.
Of course, from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri, the top of the table class. Champions Real de Banjul up against second place Fortune. Fortune trailed by a 0-0, courtesy of Swaibu Kebe. And Swaibu broke the deadlock to give the advantage. Busy technical area, it's a strike and a header. Partly defended there by the champions Real de Banjul, Ibrahim Jata. Will solely work on a defensive work on the far side. Currently having it tough against Ferdinand Jata, and already the champions have already cleared their line. It is Abdullah Tamba to Salifu Koli, the former Real de Banjul player, who squares that ball on the far side, trying to connect the run of Adam Akante. Unfortunately, the ball is too strong on the far side for a champion, or the champions throw in Real de Banjul.
Since they considered that goal, they have been trying to peg Real in their own half, trying to play, of course, a half field. But you have to be very much aware of Real de Banjul's attack, and they're always fast on the ball. The transition is always good for them. But, you know, we might see goals in this game, Pafati.
We might see goals, and already we have seen a goal. And this time to the champions Real de Banjul. And in case you're just joining us, you're reminded that we're coming to you live from the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri, the home of the champions Real de Banjul. And it is currently the top of the table class and the title decider between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. And currently it is 1-0 and 1-0 in favor of the champions Real de Banjul. And champions Real currently starting with Lamin Sedi in goal, Mustafa Nyasi, David Sambu, Ibrahim Jata, Hassan Najiba, Ibunene Kasama, Alassane Sedi, Mustafa Baji, Momodu Jobate, Abdullah Balde and Swaibu Kebe, who scored the only goal so far. And Fortune on the other end lost possession to the champions Real de Banjul. And Fortune is starting with Nuha Sanyang in goal, Ibrahim Ture, Bakari Sise, Sambujang Ture, Abdullah Tamba, Seni Jata, Ibu Sanyang, Adam Akante, Salifu Koli, Gaira Juve and Ferdinand Jata around the area. Swaibu Kebe strikes into the gloves of the custodian. Lively contest, great atmosphere, of course. Great afternoon from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex, of course, in Basuri. We are definitely loving the atmosphere, Saleo Jalo. The champions Real de Banjul just need a point to be crowned champions, of course, currently leading by a 0-0. If they are able to secure maximum points, that might be enough for them. But even a point will definitely be enough to be crowned champions.
Well, looking at the timing, unofficial.
Is that going to be, and that's a clearance coming from Real de Banjul, partly cleared. Fortune Football Club will try to get that ball in their opposition's half. Hassan Jiba strikes, and already the final touch on Fortune Football Club. Back to you, Salio.
We played 10 minutes according to my clock, and as things stand, Real are currently the champions of the land.
Of course, currently the champions leading by a 0-0 against Fortune Football Club after the goalkeeping blunder from the custodian Nuha Sanyang. And it's a throw in, Hassan Jiba to deliver. Hassan Jiba with a long one. Swaibu Kebe heads. Another opportunity around the center circle. Abdullah Balde, and that's a handball signal by the central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama, who is having the assistance of Abisise. Mustafa Bujang, Aissatou Toure is the fourth assistant referee. Kabajiba is the match commissioner, and Alaji Sane is of course the referee assessor from the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri, and it is the top of the table class and title decider between Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. Abdullah Tamba to Bakari Sise. Bakari on the left side of the defense. Back to Tamba Abdullahi, to his defensive partner Sambujang Toure and team captain. And Fortune currently playing a defensive trio. Abdullahi Tamba, Ferdinand Jata and Sambujang Toure. Seni Jata. Of course, this is his first game after serving his suspension. It is Toure Sambujang, the team captain, to Nuha Sanya. Nuha the custodian. Getting it further. And Nuha this time not a great one once again, trying to connect Bakari Sise on the far side, and his delivery could not connect the run of Bakari, and it's a throw in Mustafa Nyase to Ibrahim Ake Jata for the champions Real de Banjul, who are dressed in all white under the guidance of head coach Ibrahim Jata. Ibrahim Ake Jata back to the custodian Lamin Sedi. Sedi Lamin is the team captain for the champions. David Sambo. David trying to use the left side. This time to Hassan Jiba. Hassan trying a back heel, but unfortunately could not connect the run of Jobate, and it's a throw in Ibrahim Toure. Fortune trail by a goal to nil against champions Real de Banjul, and Real just need a point to be crowned champions of 2024-25 GFF Men's Division 1. Of course, it is match day 28 of the GFF Men's Division 1. Adam Akante penalized by the central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama. It is definitely a lively contest, and I believe Saliu Jalo we're going to have an incredible turnout here. Though the distance is a bit far, but we believe it's going to be an improved performance compared to most of the GFF Men's Division 1 games.
Absolutely, everybody want to be present when it comes to the deciding moment, and they will go back and of course say to the families that we were there when it happened. We were there when they were crowned champions, or when they were given like the go ahead to celebrate as the champions of the land. But then one thing that I've observed from Ibrahim Ajada, Jix, the head coach of Real de Banjul, he's very furious playing the ball at the back, like recycling it with his defense line. Most of the time he's urging his players to go forward. Probably he's trying to put the game to bed before the end of the first half.
That's another opportunity. Ibrahim Toure will try to head that. Jobate collects the ball around the edge of the 18. Real de Banjul strikes, palmed away by the custodian partly. Another opportunity. Ibunene Gassama with the second goal for the champions Real de Banjul. Ibunene Gassama with the second goal, and the champions currently lead by 2 goals to nil at home. And the trophy of course is heading home. The trophy is heading home, and Real de Banjul leading by 2 goals to nil against Fortune Football Club at the Live Your Dreams Football Complex. Saliu Jalo. We have already seen 2 goals coming from the champions, and Fortune Football Club, if they want to deprive champions Real de Banjul to be crowned champions, they need to score again to deprive the champions from being crowned the 2025 league champion. But it is already a 2-0 advantage for the champions. Of course, the head coach Ibrahim Ajata is still giving instruction to his players. Saliu Jalo, the trophy we repeat is seemingly heading home to the champions. Of course, that's going to be the 3rd successive time for the champions Real de Banjul defending the GFF Men's Division 1 crown.
Well, they are turning it into their own league now. Instead of like competing with other teams, it's like they're creating their own league, their own mantra. You know, it is helpless Jane Juve on the touch line. Someone that you look into his face and you feel sorry for him. You look at the defensive howlers again. Another poor defending here. It cost them. The goalkeeper did his part in the 4th save, but then it was more of like an assist to Ibunene, and you know, in his own ground, he knows where to put the ball, and there's a very poor communication there. But then it's 2-0 now, and it's like they're running riot now. Real de Banjul at their own patch. This is a fortress ground to other teams. You come here under the hot stone, they will make you suffer. But then it's a lesson learned by from the petroleum boys to go back to the drawing board and restructure things again. And looking at the ingredients that they have, the players that they have, the caliber of players, the experienced players that they have in them, they deserve better than this. They deserve better than this, than being a runner-up every year. You know, they have to compete. The last time they won it, many kids forget the year. But, you know, they will tell you we still won it. But then it's about time they feel the test again. But it's like Real de Banjul are running away with the title.
There we go. Words of a colleague and brother. Salih Jallo from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basurian already. It is 19 minutes unofficial if we are able to get that time accurately. 15 minutes unofficial according to our clock as the central referee and his officials are with the official timing, and the central referee is Ibrahim Janko Sama. Abisise is the fourth assistant referee. Mustafa Bujang Aissatou Toure is the fourth assistant referee. Kaba Jiba, the match commissioner, and Alaji Sam Sane is serving as the referee assessor. Ibu Nene Gassama, who got the second goal, and Ibu is been blocked in there by Sambujang Toure, who is currently serving as the team captain for the Petroleum Boys of Fortune Football Club.
When they scored the second goal, I saw Ibrahim Ajata's celebrations. I saw his celebration. He raised two fingers on top, and then he made of like a pistol celebration. It's like he's gone in everyone. And all of a sudden, I saw Coach Hughes raising the three fingers. It's like the number 3 is looming. That is the 3rd trophy in a row. That is the message that they are sending Pafati. That we are winning it for the 3rd time in a row.
That's the signal from the gaffers of champions Real de Banjul. Ibrahim Toure operating on the right side of the defense for the Petroleum Boys. Adama Kante back to Ferdinand Jata. Fortune Football Club trailed by 2-0 against Real de Banjul, and that seems to be a slap on the face. Swaibu Kebe is currently down, and the gaffer seems to be protesting against that decision. But the central referee Ibrahim Jata and Ibrahim Janko Sama never gave that, and Swaibu Kebe is still down. Swaibu is still down, nosing that injury. We believe he is going to be assisted by the medics, and Ibrahim Janko Sama has already given the green light for play to restart. Swaibu Kebe is back on his feet. Sambujang Toure, the team captain, will slowly start the play for the Petroleum Boys, who trail by 2-0 against champions Real de Banjul at the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri. Bakari Cisse to Abdoulaye Tamba, playing that ball short. Salih Fukoli trying to pull the strings around the center circle, spreads that ball on the far side. Bakari Cisse trying to connect that ball on the far side. Another opportunity for Fortune Football Club to break. Caught out partly around the edge. Fortune slips. Real de Banjul. Abdoulaye Balde strikes it forward. It is Swaibu Kebe who is currently leading the line. Scored the 4th goal. Swaibu Kebe trying to go solo strike. Swaibu Kebe. And Swaibu with another strike, and this time around never troubled the goalkeeper. And Real de Banjul continue to lead by 2-0 and continue to search for more goals. Salih Jallo.
Well, you look at Guerra right now for Fortune. He's not receiving the balls that he wants. And you look at Torres Ibu Sanyang. He's been quiet in the last 5 minutes of this first half. But they need connection, and Guerra have to drop deep if he's going to be part of the play. You have to drop deep, connect the balls to the center circle, and then create space. Because Adama is not connected. It's only Salifu that is doing so. That is Salifu Koli, who is dropping deep on a defensive mission, helping the team and try to pick up balls as well to try to create something. But you look at the combination, the connection between Adama and Guerra Juve is not working right now. Likewise, Ibu Sanyang and the number 5 also. There is urgency like in the midfield department. Well, that was another opportunity to put the game to bed from Swaibu. But this cross was not met by a man in white.
There we go. It's a delivery coming from Ferdinand Jata, one of the central defenders of Fortune Football Club. Adama Kante trying to move that ball around the edge of the 18. It is Fortune trailed by 2-0, and that's a shout for a handball and nothing given by the central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama, who waved in for a play on instead of awarding a penalty. Of course, instead of awarding a penalty to Fortune Football Club. Adama Kante, Ibrahim Toure around the area. Ibu Sanyang with a glancing header. Mustafa Nyase, who is operating on the right side of the defense, clears that ball desperately, and it's going to be an opportunity on the far side. An opportunity on the far side for Fortune Football Club to benefit from a throw-in. Second place, Fortune trail 2-0 against champions Real de Banjul, and of course it is top of the table class and also a title decider between Fortune Football Club and champions Real de Banjul. Hassan Jiba will deliver this throw-in for the boys in all white. Real de Banjul against Fortune Football Club. Lively contest from the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri. 19 minutes on our clock. Unofficial. Swaibu Kebe. Kebe Swaibu scored the 1st goal before Ibu Nene Gassama getting the 2nd for the champions. Swaibu Kebe. Adama Kante trying to move forward. This is Hassan Jiba. It's another throw-in. Fortune Football Club. David Sambo getting that ball to touch. Hassan Jiba is still down, and central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama has already given the green light. Ibrahim Toure to Gairaju. Gaira Juve currently leading the line for the Petroleum boys. Around the area, Gaira Juve blocked in there on the far side. Champions Real de Banjul regain possession, not for too long, having it tough against Gaira once again. Gaira Juve goes to ground, and this time being rewarded by the central referee Ibrahima Janko Sama, who is having the assistance of Abitise Mustafa Bojang. Ayatu is the fourth referee. Kabajiba is the match commissioner, and Alaji Sane is the referee assessor. From the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri, it's a class, of course, match day 28 of the GFF Men's Division 1. Of course, the title decider between champions Real de Banjul and second place Fortune Football Club. Advantage to the champions. Swaibu Kebe broke the deadlock before Ibu Nene Gassama, getting the second for head coach Ibrahima Jata and his boys at home. And it is currently a lively contest. Lively moments from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri. It's a set piece. Salifu Koli to deliver. It's a crowded penalty area for champions Real de Banjul. Lamin said the custodian, and that seems to be a push and pull between the players of Fortune and champions Real de Banjul, and the central referee rather, Ibrahima Janko Sama, had to settle that, and he has already given the green light. Salifu Koli to deliver. Salifu floats that ball, this time trying to connect the run of Abdullah Tamba. Lamin Sedi point that ball away. And Lamin Sedi seems to be protesting, and it's going to be another corner for the Petroleum boys.
But he's protesting at his players, not the central referee Janko. Remember, Janko officiated the game between TMT and Steve Biko at the goal project, in which ended 1-1. TMT came from behind to restore parity in the 9 minutes. Coach of former Steve Biko player, that is Amadou Tamba Demba to be precise. But then back to Basori. Well, there is already pushing there inside the penalty box, but there's going to be a community meeting. When you look at Fortune, like probably they will try to capitalize on the set pieces to get something, out of it. They might still be in this game if at all they can pull one back before the break.
It's a possibility. Fortune trail 2-0 against Real de Banjul. From the Live Your Dreams football field, Salifu Koli around the area. Hassan Jiba with a timely interception. It's Ibrahima Toure trying to connect Adama Kante on the far side, but Adama penalized by the flag of the assistant referee on the far side. It's going to be an opportunity for champions Real de Banjul, and Real de Banjul wouldn't be in any hurry, currently leading by 2-0, and they have all the time to definitely wind down the clock.
That was a very good delivery from Salifu Koli inside the penalty box, but it met the ball met a player in white. That's why it was well defended there. But then, as you mentioned earlier on, they are not in a hurry because they know what the scoreboard reads. It is 2-0 to the good of Real de Banjul.
It is Sambujang now on a defensive work against Waibu Kebe. And the central referee has already given a corner to Fortune to Real de Banjul.
One of the most experienced defenders in the division, that is Sambujan, the captain for Fortune. He isn't happy looking at Fortune's current situation right now. But that is the game of football for you. Sometimes it is always cruel. But then, the one-time champions, and Sambuja was among the players that lifted that trophy. He was the one that lifted the trophy at the Independence Stadium. But then I believe, as I mentioned earlier on, there is more room for improvement that they need. They have to go back to the drawing board, restructure themselves, rebrand themselves, and of course rebuild the team again, the team spirit again. It's always difficult, Juve crossing from Bara to Banjul every time, coming here expecting results, positive results, but it never comes their way. The main objective was the FF Cup, in which they squandered via the lottery. They brought in experienced players to help them win the league or compete at the highest order, but things fall apart.
Of course, it's a corner for Real de Banjul around the area, point away by the custodian, David Sambu. He collects that ball on the far side for Real de Banjul, and the team is currently leading. Abdullahi Balde never troubled the goalkeeper this time around. Balde Abdullahi is one of the leading players for the champions Real de Banjul 11 on his back. Abdullahi Tamba Abdullahi to Bakari Sise. Fortune trail 2-0. Around the area, Abdullahi Tamba once again. It is at this very venue where Fortune Football Club came from 2 goals down to pick a point against Steve Biko. Ibu Sanya. Ibu to Ibrahima Toure. Operating on the right side of the defense. Ibu now, a former Real de Banjul player, 8 on his back. Dropping that ball to Seni Jata. Back to Abdullahi Tamba. Great possessive display coming from the Petroleum boys of Fortune Football Club under the guidance of coach Jane Juve. Bakari Sese trying to look for options on the far side, dropping that ball for Seni Jata around the edge. Seni trying to reconnect The run of Salifu Koli unfortunately lost it, and it's going to be an opportunity. Of course, it's going to be an opportunity. Salif Jallo, of course, people will definitely want to be here to watch this crucial and lively game. To many, of course, is a title desired. Of course, Fortune Football Club will possibly have the chance to delay, but currently, it is definitely fading away.
The 1 million is now having a one-way traffic. That is, it's heading into Basuri, Real de Banjul, the beneficiary. For the time being, looking at the clock right now and looking at the scoreline, the scoreboard, 2-0, and you look at the defense line of Real de Banjul, they are not that much pushed to the wire or tested to the limit. Just in very few occasions when it comes to set pieces from Fortune, and you look at the goalkeeper, isn't been trouble compared to the opponent's goalkeeper in this first half. But it is football for you. You know, if you win the league, everything goes right for you.
There we go. Salih Ujalo. It is Ibrahima Kejata. Ibrahima launched that ball forward. Never trouble the goalkeepers. Nuha Sanya. Nuha is the custodian to Ferdinand Jata. Ferdinand trying to connect the run of Adama Kante. Ibu Nene Gassama. Ibu Sanyang. This time around, Ibu Sanyang penalized, and Ibu protested against that decision of the central referee Ibrahima Janko Sama. But currently Ibu Nene Gassama is currently down, nosing an injury. Will he need assistance from the medics? We are in so. Ibu Nene back on his feet. Scored the second goal after Swaibu Kebe getting the champions the lead at the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri. It's of course a busy technical area for both gaffers. Ibrahima Jata on the technical area for the champions Real de Banjul, and Jane Diouf is also very much busy around his technical area. Around the center circle, champions Real de Banjul. Mustafa Baje trying to connect the run of the player up front into the gloves of the custodian Nuha Sanyang. Nuha is the custodian for Fortune Football Club, and in the opposite goal post is Lamin Sedi, the team captain for the champions Real de Banjul.
I am a bit surprised. In a game of this magnitude, I haven't seen the officials, the match officials, having their communicating gadgets today in this game, which is very important. Look at the first assistant referee shouting to the center referee, Kanaila Koma be the Katola. You have to give a sideways turn, and you know what is happening behind the scenes. And the center referee wasn't that much clear on what this guy already said to him. But communication devices at this peak of the league is very important, and we are just talking about graduating from amateur to professional league, and this is the second time champions playing against one-time champions Real de Banjul and Fortune, and there is no communication device, and you have to shout to the center referee where even the spectators are hearing what you're saying. So it's very unfortunate from our point of view.
Thank you very much, Salih Ujalo, and back to the live commentary from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex. Of course, in the heart of Basuri, West Coast region. Combo, East West Coast region, the Gambia, and it is the ground currently hosting the GFF Men's Division 1. Top of the table class and a league decider between Fortune and champions Real de Banjul. Ibrahima Toure to Gaida Diouf. Spreads it wide. Adama Kante around the edge, trying to dribble past one, looking for more. Adama back to the advancing player. Ibrahima Toure trying to cross over. Seni Jata. Jata Seni for Fortune Football Club, and it is Jata Seni to Salifu Kole. Salifu to Bakari Sise. Around the edge. Drills that ball low. Ibrahima K. Jata clears that ball desperately. Abdullah Tamba, one of the central defenders, to his defensive partner, Sambujang Toure. It is Ferdinand Jata. Ferdinand to Ibu Sanyang. Lost it. Ibu regained possession. Lost it once again, and champions Real de Banjul will move that ball further. Ibrahima Toure. Once again to Adama Kante. Fortune enjoying possession in their opposition's half. It's going to be an opportunity for the Petroleum boys. Ibu Sanyang against his former club, Seni Jata. Bakari Sise. Sise Bakari to Seni Jata once again. Fortune Football Club under the guidance of head coach Jane Diouf trailed by 2-0 against the champions Real de Banjul. And Real with a point is enough to secure this trophy for them. Ibu Sanyang strikes this time around, caught out by Asan Jiba. Ibu Nene Gassama for champions Real de Banjul around the center of the pitch. Not a very good combination this time around, coming from the number 21 Alassane Sedi.
That was a blind pass, but I've observed Ibu Nene, like his mission is to try to stop Ibu Sanyang from having that comfort zone in the center circle, or having that killer passes in this game, and it's more of like anytime Ibu Sanyang breaks the ball. That was a brilliant nutmeg there. Pafati. They're trying to come into this game. That is Fortune. But Ibunene's mission is to stop Ibu Sanyang.
Of course, this is Adam Akande who strikes. Solid header. Coming from the central defender, David Sambu into the gloves of the custodian, Lamin Sedi.
Well, he reduced the speed and the velocity of the strike, and that helps the shotstopper having a comfortable save. But that could have been a very good, a thunderous shot on target there.
Probably that would have troubled the custodian, Lamin Sedi. Of course, in goal for the champions, Real de Banjul at the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri. Of course, it is the top of the table class. Fortune currently on second against table toppers champions Real de Banjul. Real leading the line or leading the table before this contest on first with 55 points, Fortune on second with 47, Falcons on third with 45, Brikama United fourth with 39, Heart FC on fifth. This is Jobate around the edge of the 18, Abdullah Tamba having it tough against Jobate into the gloves of the custodian Noha Sanyang. That was definitely an incredible run, but Abdullah Tamba was just there in time to recover that ball from Jobate.
Brilliant defensive work from Abdullah Tamba. He has been alive in this game. That is Tamba for Fortune. You know, you have to run head over heels to close that gap. That was just a brilliant one. Fortune were on the brink of conceding the third goal.
Of course, that is Fortune Football Club against champions Real de Banjul. Of course, Real de Banjul playing at home. It is the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in the community of Basuri, Combo East, West Coast region, the Gambia. Of course, it's match day 28 of the GFF Men's Division 1. And of course, the title decider, a victory for champions Real de Banjul will confirm their supremacy, of course, in this year's GFF Men's Division 1. And they will be crowned champions of 2024-25 GFF Men's Division 1. Of course, Saliu Jallo, champions Real de Banjul are also in the semi-final of the FF Cup. And they will be playing the Brikama Base Club, of course, Greater tomorrow in the semi-final. Are we going to see, probably we might also see champions Real de Banjul going in for a double this time around?
Yeah, winning it like winning the league and winning the FF Cup. What the season will be for Ibrahim Ajix and his staff, what the season will be for Willie Abraham and co. But then, like, you know, don't rule out TMT in this game. In that competition, that is the FF Cup. Their number one target is the FF Cup. Just like how Fortune came into this competition, part of their target was, of course, to have the FF Cup and, of course, amend the mistakes ahead of the next season. But in Real de Banjul, on the brink of winning 2 trophies, or they're still alive and well in this mission to win the league and win the FF Cup. Probably the most difficult task right now is the FF Cup, not the league, because they're almost closing the chapter of the league today.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo, and already the flag of the assistant referee is up and up against Real de Banjul, and it's an advantage Fortune Football Club, and Fortune will have the opportunity to have the set piece even their oppositions have. Adam Akante down, back on his feet, and Salifu Koli seems to be the candidate to deliver. Jane Juve busy on his technical area, and equally head coach Ibrahim Ajata also very much busy on his technical area, currently having an advantage, leading by 2-0 against second place Fortune FC.
You look at Ibrahim Ajata, Jigs, Hans Akimbo, you look at Jane Juve, Hans Akimbo. That is the only thing that they have in common right now. Difference with the score line. And earlier when I told you raise his 3 fingers, it simply means that he's signaling to his of course opponent Jin Juve that I'm coming for the 3rd trophy. You know, he's having that, you know, mentality in him, and he's one of the finest coaches, you know, in the country. That is Ibrahim Ajata since his days at the Kaki Boys. That is Salifu Koli.
It's a delivery. Salifu Koli strikes, partly cleared out by the champions Real de Banjul, and finally Bakari Sise handed that ball to Ibunene Kasama. Ibunene trying to go solo, looking for options, waiting for the advancing players, spreads that ball further. This is Jobate around the edge. Ibrahim Jobate into the close of the custodian, but the flag is already up against Abdullah Balde. And that's of course the 3rd goal for the champions Real de Banjul, but unfortunately the flag of the assistant referee, of course, Abi Sise, is already up and up against Abdullah Balde. 11 for the champions Real de Banjul. That would have been the 3rd goal for the champions, but unfortunately cancelled out by the flag of the assistant referee on the other end. And still the scoreline is 2-0 in favor of champions Real de Banjul against Fortune FC.
My question is, why did Momodo Jobate have to break that ball? But it's on the other side for Fortune. But why did Momodo Jobate have to break that ball? He could have just go for a strike.
Ibu Sanyang This time not an incredible one coming from Ibrahima. Back to you, Saliu.
He didn't score at the preferred post, he scored at the opposite post, which is that will never be counted. But then, that was another opportunity. I told you earlier on, Real's counter is always dangerous. And you look at Swebu Kebe, how he pulled the strings to be in the center circle or in the penalty area within the blink of an eye. And likewise, of course, Jobate, the number 24. That is how they play, and that is the mantra of Real de Banjul, and that is always the game plan.
Thank you very much. Words of a colleague, brother, of course, from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basori. We will surely get you. Of course, it is 35 minutes unofficial, according to our clock. Of course, not the official clock, as the central referee and his officials are with the official timing, and it is currently 35 minutes unofficial in the GFF Men's Division 1 fixture between Fortune Football Club and the champions Real de Banjul, and currently underway at the Live Your Dreams Football Field in Basori. Fortune trail 2-0. Abdullah Tamba to Bakari Sise. Sise operating on the left side of the defense, caught out by Mustafa Jiba or Mustafa Nyase. Mustafa Nyase is operating on the right side of the defense for the champions, whilst Hassan Jiba operates on the left side of the defense. And Fortune FC currently having Nuha Sanyang in goal, and the defensive trio of Abdullah Tamba, Sambujang Ture and Ferdinand Jata. Seni Jata marshalling the heart of the midfield for Coach Jane Juve and his boys. And up front, or in front of Seni Jata, is Ibu Sanyang. Gaira Juve reading the line. Salifu Koli and Adama Kante operating on the left side of the attacks for Coach Jane Juve and his boys. And Ferdinand Jata is being rustled and rewarded. Of course, the central referee is Ibrahima Janko Sama, who is having the assistance of Abi Sise, Mustafa Bujang. Aissatou Toure is the fourth assistant referee. Kabajiba, the match commissioner. And Alaji Sane, of course, is the referee assessor from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in the heart of Basore. The champions enjoying the 2-0 advantage against second place Fortune Football Club, who needs to score twice if they want to pick a point, and needs to score thrice at least to secure maximum points. And will they be able to do is the biggest question, and also the biggest ambition for Coach Jane Juve and his boys. And also already it's a set piece at a great position. Ibo Sanyang, the former Real de Banjul player, currently behind the ball. Will he be able to treble the goalkeeper from this distance? Spreads that ball wide, trying to connect the run of Ibrahima Toure, who tries to reconnect the player. And unfortunately, the ball is being blocked to touch. And of course, it's going to be a corner for Fortune Football Club. And still, Fortune trying to pull one back in this contest, but the score is still champions Real de Banjul 2, Fortune Football Club 0.
The IQ from Ibusanya and Torres is just top notch. That left-footed pass to the far side to connect the dots with the number 18 was just brilliant. He's a player to watch. He's just a joy to watch. We read his journey via Ibrahima Sonko's page, or KB Sonko's page. A symbol tells you that he came from grass to grace, and he never give up, and he hardly give up, especially games like this. He might be the provider in this game if Fortune are to restore parity in this game.
Fortune are to restore parity. Anyway, the team trail 2-0. It's a corner, beautifully executed. Momodu Jobate on a defensive work this time around. It's going to be Fortune FC to benefit from a throw in. Sambujang Toure, the team captain and central defender. Hassan Jiba rose the highest, had a touch. It's going to be a corner on the far side. Mustafa, this time around, it's going to be a Fortune corner once again. Fortune trail 2-0 at the Live Your Dreams football field. Of course, in the heart of Basuri, Combo East, West Coast region, the Gambia, top of the table class, March day 28, between the champions Real de Banjul and second place Fortune Football Club, and the last 5 matches played between Fortune Football Club and champions Real de Banjul. Real de Banjul won twice, drew thrice, and Fortune won none. It's a corner, and the last fixture played between Fortune and champions Real de Banjul was 1-0 victory for the champions. This time Ibrahima Jata with a glancing header. Salifu Koli to Seni Jata on the far side. Fortune Football Club lost it. It is now the champion Real de Banjul to benefit from a throw-in. And Real wouldn't be in any hurry, as they currently leading by 2-0. They broke the deadlock courtesy of Suwaibu Kebe before Ibunene Gassama getting the second for Coach Ibrahima Jata and his boys from the very own complex. Of course, they are training complex in the heart of Basuri. West Coast region, of course, the Gambia. It is March day 28. Title decider, of course, title decider between between Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. And currently Real de Banjul are on course of defending their crown, and if they are able to win it, it's going to be the third successive trophy for Ibrahim Ajata and his boys.
Well, they will tell you, like, if they are to win this league, it's going to be very difficult for any team to do this, the same one. You look at the trend of Gambian football, where we are heading to the journey as well, teams that are coming, players as well. To do this in the next 3 years will be very difficult. You know, it will be very difficult. You know, it needs a lot of ingredients in that. When you look at Shuaibu Kebe, he never gave up, and he wins a corner now.
Of course, that was definitely a pressure from Swaibu Kebe, trying to put a little bit of pressure after that pass from Abdullah Tamba to the custodian Nuha Sanyang. Of course, it's going to be a corner on the far side for the champions Real de Banjul, currently with the 2-0 advantage.
Once again, the 1 million will be spending months with Real de Banjul. That is the trophy.
Of course, it is currently getting closer and closer to the champions Real de Banjul, leading by 2-0 at their own turf. Of course, Live Your Dreams Football Complex in March 28. Title decider between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune FC from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basuri, and Mustafa Nyasi to deliver. Nyasi Mustafa floats that ball around the area. This time Ibrahim Akejata trying to control that ball forward. It's an opportunity for Fortune to break. This time caught out by Asan Jiba. Fortune FC, great back heel. Gaira Juf to Ibu Sanyang, who spreads that ball on the far side. Salifu Koli around the edge. Dribble pass, one looking for the opportunity. And that was definitely very close, and the custodian was just there in time to get that ball around the area, and this time definitely very close for Fortune Football Club to pull one back. Unfortunately for Fortune Football Club, Lamin Sedi was just equal to that task by palming that ball away, and it is already a corner, and it's a corner for Fortune Football Club. Saliu Jalo, this is definitely very close for Fortune Football Club to pull one back, unfortunately for Salih Fukoli, of course, who is also another former Real de Banjul player. That would have been a goal for Salifu, and then that would have definitely be a very good goal, scoring a goal against his former club, champions Real de Banjul.
It could have been a deserved goal for Salifu. He has been alive and well in this game, but the counter was just brilliant. Ibu's pass was brilliant, and the player fall to the defender fall to the ground, and was more of like a giveaway to Salifu Koli. But he have also to force the stopper to stretch, you know, to the limits to put that save. That is a champion save. That is a champion save, to be precise. A top-notch save. That could have been, well, the equal, at least pulling one back. But Salih was still, you know, suffering on the ground with that injury he picked up in that incident. But then, that could have been the goal number one for Fortune.
He just dragged into the bottom corner. Another Makante pulled one back for the Petroleum boys. And Fortune pulled one back moments before halftime. Saliu Jalo, this is definitely timely for Fortune Football Club, and it is game on in Basuri.
It was looming. You look at the counter. You look at the counter earlier on from Salifu, and Salifu is back. He's coming to the pitch, of course, to play 2 against 1, 2 goals to 1 now. But you know, the goalkeeper did a very brilliant save in Salifu's strike. But the second one, the set piece, the corner, you know, he was not up to the task, and that is game on now here at Basori. If you are to win the league, probably, if you are to win the league, Fortune will tell you you are not going to win it easy. You are not going to be crowned champion so easy. We have to push you to the limit. We have to push you to the wire. And Adam Akante have already shown experience to one of the most experienced stoppers in the country as well.
There we go, of course, into the final moments, of course, in Basori. Champions up against second place Fortune FC. Of course, we have played 44 minutes unofficial. 44 minutes unofficial. Anyway, the fourth assistant referee is checking on her wrist. Anyway, Ibunene Gassama, who scored the second goal for Real de Banjul. Back to Ibrahim Akejata. Ibrahim is one of the central defenders who launched that ball forward, trying to connect the run of Mustafa Nyasi. Mustafa trying to keep that ball in play. This time it is Bakari Sisa around the edge, and Abdullah Tamba just there in time to get that ball off the area. That was indeed a great run coming from Mustafa.
I told you about this player, that is Abdullah Tamba. He has been a pivotal defender for Fortune. I don't think whether he's going to spend another season with Fortune. If he is to fly high, let him fly high. We'll be very pleased with that. But then he's a top-notch of a defender. You know, Real might come calling, but he will tell you, I prefer going abroad than playing against my rivals. Like, that is Real de Banjul. But then, like, at one point in time, It was like the ball was around the half of Real de Banjul, but within a blink of an eye, Real de Banjul benefited set piece.
Of course, it's a corner on the far side. It is going to be a delivery for champions Real de Banjul, and strikes comes in around the edge of the 18-4 Fortune Football Club, who trail by 2-1. Trail 2-0 earlier on, and of course already that's an infringement as signaled by the central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama, and this time it is the champions Real de Banjul, and Real will now have the opportunity, and seemingly it's going to be 2 minutes of additional time, and this 2 minutes of additional time will give the opportunity for Fortune Football Club and champions, either for champions Real de Banjul to hold on, or Fortune Football Club to possibly have the chance to get this game to parity before lemon time, or else champions Real de Banjul will be heading back into the dressing room with their noses in front. We have to wait for that. This time strike comes in. Abdullah Tamba with a timely header. Gaira Juf. Gaira trying to go solo. Gaira Juf to Ibrahima Toure. Ibrahima looking for options, spreads it further. It's going to be Gaira Juve once again. Fortune Football Club on the far side. It's another goal, and it is the second goal for Fortune Football Club, and it is already 2-2. It is 2-2 in Basori. Saliu Jalo, lively moments, great atmosphere. What are we saying? From 2 goals down, it is currently 2-2, and I was saying this is of course, this was at the very venue where Fortune Football Club came from 2 goals down to restore parity against Steve Biko, and once again they have done it against champions Real de Banjul at the very on top. Of course, the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basori, who got the second goal, I have to confirm.
Salifu Koli.
It is Salifu Koli who got the second goal.
Employee.
Of course, Salifu Koli got the second goal for Fortune Football Club, and it is currently parity restored in Basori. Of course, it is going to be an incredible second half, of course, between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club.
He gave the devil it, so let me begin with Salifu Koli. He did not celebrate. That was a sign of an apology to his former employer. But then the transition from their own half, Gaira for 2-0 to win the ball against the number 24 here, Momodu Jobate, to his side. And then he connected the dots to Adama. Adama have to send it back to Gaira, and then Gaira connected the dots with Salifu. Empty net, Salifu dribble past the shortstopper, empty net, he have to last the ball. Early on his first strike was blocked, and this time around no one was there to stop him. And since then they have been alive in this game. Since pulling that goal back, they have been alive and well in this game.
It's back to the custodian Nuhasanya, who clears that ball desperately, and it is currently half-time. And it is half-time in Basori, half-time between champions Real de Banjul and second place Fortune Football Club. Saliu Jalo, we're going to see an interesting, more and more interesting second half between champions Real de Banjul. Anyway, it is half-time. We have seen a lot in the first half, and we believe we're going to see more and more of this in the second period.
Well, I told you, if they are to be crowned champions, yes, but Fortune have to push them down the wire. They have to push Real de Banjul to the wall to test them to the limit. If they are to be crowned champions, yes, you might be crowned champions at your own patch, but it's going to be difficult. You have to walk your swords off, and it is 2-2. Remontada at the highest order.
Anyway, it is half-time, of course, half-time in Basori, half-time between the champions Real de Banjul and second place Fortune Football Club, and it is currently 2-2. Swaibu Kebe broke the deadlock for the champions Real de Banjul before Ibunene Gassama getting the second for the champions to give them the 2-0 advantage. But guess what? Fortune Football Club came from 2 goals down to secure and also pulled a massive comeback from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex. Of course, Saliu Jalo, it is half-time. This is where we're going to have 15 minutes of rest. But before we go, your final words before we let you go.
Well, they were pushed to this situation. They were in this situation against Steve Biko here at this patch, that is Basori, the fortress ground for Real de Banjul, and they have to restore parity, in which Steve Biko, they will tell you, we are very bitter about that, leading 2-0 and ending up settling to a draw. Real de Banjul, despite a draw, will do, but they want to do it in a fashion way. They want to win this game. They want to win this game to celebrate it in a well-befitting celebration. But then from 2 goals down, and one of the most strong defense line, but I stand to be corrected, because Steve Biko have the most the strongest defense line for the past 2 seasons, 3 seasons. They conceded less goals or lesser goals than other opponents. But then it is a wake-up call for Ibrahim Jiks. Like probably they will tell you, one who laughed last laughed the best. Earlier on he was celebrating, punching in the air, raising 2 fingers, 3 fingers. But now You look at Gaira Juve signaling to his coach, that is Jen Juve, that Defanyo. It simply means that they still believe they can even beat Real de Banjul at their own patch. And it's going to be a very disappointing result for Real de Banjul to be defeated here, and they have to catapult the celebration for another fateful evening. And they will tell you, we were only stopped by common fortune, in which fortune is not common.
And they are going to play Brikama United in their next fixture. If Fortune is able to secure a victory here, probably this might also have a very difficult game against Brikama.
Yeah. Then we will go to the wire, and we expect. In fact, I am praying for that. Let it be a final game decider, or 2 games decider, or final game decider. But let's wait for it, because like Real will be playing Brikama, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
And you know the first fixture, what was the end result? Well, Katongo might give away Team Rhino 3 points anyhow he want, but against Real de Banjul, you know, history has it that Real's main headache in the division is always Brikama United. Can they be the Abraham or the Jesus of fortune? That is Brikama United remains the $1 million question.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo, and it has been, of course, Parliament Fati. Saliu Jallo at the commentary cabin. Behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Until then, we are going off for 15 minutes, and we'll be back for the continuation of the live commentary from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in the huge and massive game between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. Until then, it is 2-2 from Basori, and we are off. Do join us in the next 15 for the continuation. Welcome back to the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basori for the continuation of the live commentary in the GFF Men's Division 1. Of course, the title decider between champions Real de Banjul, match day 28 of the top tier of Gambian football, and it is already 2-2 between Fortune and champions Real de Banjul. And any moment from now, Central Referee Lam Ibrahim Janko Sama and his team of officials will solely get us on the way from the Live Your Dreams Football Complex in Basori, and there we go. The champions Real de Banjul led 2-0 before Fortune Football Club, coming from 2 goals down to get this game to parity. And it is currently 2-2 from Basori, and it is live. Of course, it's a long and high one into the half of Fortune Football Club. Of course, at the comment cabin is Lamin Fati, Saliu Jallo, Lamin Jara, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. A few minutes into the contest, or the second half, of course, Fortune 2, Real de Banjul 2. From the custodian Nuha Sanyang on the far side to Adam Akante, who tries to keep that ball in play, lost it in the process. It is already live and well from Basori. Champions Real de Banjul dressed in all white. White shirts and white socks under the guidance of head coach Ibrahim Ajata. Ibrahim Acham is his immediate assistant. Real de Banjul before this contest on first with 55 points. Fortune on second with 47 points. Ibrahim Ajata is the head coach. Assisted by Ibrahim Acham. Jane Juve is on the technical area and having the assistance of Mustafa Chajo. Real de Banjul, David Sambo, block in there on the far side. Adam Akante. Real de Banjul will have the opportunity once again. And Saliu Jallo, both sides picking it from where they left it. It's going to be, we believe it's definitely going to be an interesting second half. We have seen an incredible first half where champions Real de Banjul led. Fortune came from 2 goals down around the edge of the 18-yard. Floats that ball this time. It's an opportunity. Abdullah Balde for Real de Banjul. Currently having it tough against Bakari Sise. What is Bakari trying to do here? Abdullah Tamba with a timely interception, both sides picking it from there where they left it. And we believe we're going to have an interesting second half, more interesting than what we have already seen in the first period.
For the first time in the game, Bakari Sise is dribbled past in this encounter, but it's game on now. well, the defining moments of this encounter, or the pending champions elect, will be decided in this final 45 minutes here in Basori. They will tell you we are here at our own patch to win the league today, the 19th of June 2025.
It's Abdullah Balde, Ibu Sanyang on a defensive walk. It's currently Salifu Koli who got the second goal for champions Real de Banjul, and already is an infringement. Currently on Gaira Juvan, the head coach for Real de Banjul, Ibrahim Ajata, seems not to be happy with that decision. But anyway, Mustafa Nyasi is down, Gaira Juve is also down, both being assisted by the medics. In the very first minutes of the contest, we will surely get to Lamin Jara shortly for some reaction. Salut Jalo.
When Gaira Juve came from the locker room, the message around the technical bench of Real de Banjul was like, he was shouting to his boys like, it's now our turn, the second half is our turn. Well, Real de Banjul will tell you we are not deaf to hear that. We heard that very well, but let's go for it. But then that was a message from Gaira Juve. Was it a mind game message sent to Real de Banjul players or the technicians? But then he was like, it's now our turn, the table have turned for us. Imagine coming from a 2-goal down here at their own patch, Basori, a fortress ground they call it, restoring parity and heading into the tunnel 2-all. At one point in time, Jane Juve was like, the look on his face was in promission, but now he believed that we can still, go on to win this game.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jalo, and it is still 2-2 from the Live Your Dreams football complex. And when Lamin Jara came, he said, funnily, when I entered, I heard it was 2-0. Before finishing my press, it is 2-2. Lamin Jara, welcome, and of course, welcome to the Live Your Dreams football complex.
Probably his prayers were meant for fortune, and the prayers reach heaven.
Anyway, those are the words of colleagues and brothers, Saliu Jalo, and we will surely get the mic to Lamin Jara, who funnily said, when I entered, it was 2-0 in favor of champions Real de Banjul. Before I realized, it is now 2-2. Very quick.
Thank you, Pa. Yeah, that has been the story of this game so far. When I entered, it was 2-0, and just as I made my way towards the entrance, it was a goal ruled out for Real. That would have been 3-0, and all of a sudden, I went to perform ablution, and as I was done with prayers, I came only to realize that it was 2-2. I said, what on earth, and what a game we are watching here. It was just, fortune were on fireworks in few minutes, Pa, and no wonder deservedly.
Thank you very much, Lamin Jara. Swaibu Kebe is penalized by the flag of the assistant referee. Scored the first goal in this crucial and title decider between Real de Banjul and Fortune before Ibunene Gassama getting the second. Adama Kante pull one back for Fortune before Salifu Koli getting the second goal to get this game to parity. From the Live Your Dreams football complex in Basuri, of course, it is LSTV at the commentary cabin for Lamin Fati, Saliu Jalo, and of course Lamin Jara at the commentary cabin. Behind camera operations is Osman Jara. Usman Kamara rather. Of course, it's a lively contest. It's a great afternoon from Basuri in the title decider between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. Saliu Jara, I think instead of saying Usman Kamara, I said Ibrahim Usman Jara.
Well, Usman his tribe is Gambia, so anyhow we'll do for him. He's okay. He's the tallest camera operator. That is the difference between other camera operators, But then, like, coming into the second half, we have seen an award given to that is Swaibu Kebe, the player of the month for Real de Banjul, and what a way to give him that after scoring in the first half. But what a way to give him more boost ahead of this final 45 minutes. Are they keeping it for him to decide? Let's wait and see now.
That's another attack on the far side. Ibrahim Ature heads that ball, trying to connect the run of Seni Jata, who lost possession. Ibunene Kasama. On the far side is Hassan Jata. Dauda Dabo will be introduced for Fortune. It's one of the center forwards for Ature on a defensive four, claiming for a throw-in on the far side and already given by the central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama. And Dauda Dabo will be introduced. Who is he replacing? We have to wait. And Fortune Football Club will introduce more fighting power up front with the introduction of Dauda Dabo. It is Ibunene Gassama. Adama Kante recovered that ball for Fortune Football Club. Not a very good clearance from Ibrahim Ature. Ibrahim Ibunene Kasama, wrestled and rewarded by the central referee, and it is currently 2-2. Of course, in Basori, Real de Banjul led 2-0. Fortune came from 2 goals down. Of course, this is the very ground where they came from 2 goals down to pick a point against Steve Biko in one of the games in the GFF Men's Division 1. And the central referee And that seems to be a very furious moment for the covers of Real de Banjul. Is a substitution. It's a substitution. Ibu Sanyang is coming off. Oh, not Ibu. Ibu Sanyang, not Ibu Sanyang. Anyway, that is Garajuf. Garajuf seems to be injured. I think he had a knock in the first period, in the first half, in the very first minutes of the first half. I think this is still causing him. And then Gaira wouldn't be able to continue. And Gaira is taking off and will be replaced by Dauda Dabo. And Dauda Dabo, of course, trained briefly with champions Real de Banjul before moving to Fortune Football Club. Probably we might also say he's also going to play against his former, former players.
Yeah, indeed, and he will tell you I'm also here on a mission to tell you that I have trained well and you have trained me well. And this is a finished product that you are having here. Can he score the winning goal for Fortune will be the headline.
It is an opportunity. Champions Abdullah Tamba. Abdullah surge forward, dropping that ball for Bakari Sise. And Bakari's delivery never troubled the defenders. We're just there in time to get that ball off the feet of Salifu Koli, and it's a throw in. Mustafa Nyasi will deliver. It's a throw in for the champions. Nyasi to the goalkeeper Lamin Saidi. Lamin the head coach, or Lamin the, and currently Ibrahim Jata is complaining bitterly. Ibrahim Jata, the head coach of champions Real de Banjul, is complaining bitterly. But anyway, and Ibrahim Jata is still complaining. He is the head coach for the champions Real de Banjul.
Well, I was talking about this party concerning the lack of communication device with the officials of the day, and we are saying we want to graduate from amateur to professional football, and this game is like game of the week, or the biggest game of the league. And you look at the fourth official having a word with the coach, that is Ibrahim Jigs, and Jigs is telling you the love he have for the players. I have my heart on players, like, you know, let the referee act. You know, that was a yellow card. He has been shouting, you know, since in the first half. Likewise, the players as well. Sometimes the decisions, but then, you know, we have to graduate. We have to graduate. If we are to put our house in order, then we have to graduate.
We definitely have to graduate. Clearance coming from Ferdinand Jata. Adam Akante on the far side, trying to use his pace. This time strikes into the gloves of the custodian Lamin Sedi. Lamin Sedi, of course, is undoubtedly one of the finest goalkeepers in the league, and he also doubles as the team captain for the champions Real de Banjul. Currently in goal, of course, that was indeed a decent strike coming from Adam Akante, beautifully gathered by the custodian Lamin Sedi. Lamin Jara, that was definitely a great delivery. Of course, a great delivery coming from Adam Akante, but the custodian, of course, equal to the task by having that hand on that ball beautifully.
Yeah, that was a good strike from Fortune. You can see, when, as Gaira said in the before the second half begun, that this is our half, and they started it strongly. You know, they could have almost taken a 3-2 lead, and what a way it will be from 2-0 down to turn this on its head to 3-2 on the fortress of the champions. But again, you know, that was a good shot, but the goalkeeper was equal to it. In the second half, 5 or 6 minutes played, normal time. I think they have. You know, they have their tails up and they are enjoying possession now.
They have their tails up and currently enjoying possession. Dauda Dabo trying to reconnect the run of Seni Jata, and already Ibunene Gasama Rasul and rewarded by the central referee. And it is currently an advantage for champions Real de Banjul. Currently 2-2 is the score, and the current score is 2-2 in Basori. Real de Banjul led courtesy of Suwaibu Kebe. Ibunene Gasama got the second. Fortune pulled one back courtesy of Adam Akante before Salifu Koli getting the second goal to get this game to parity. The game is still alive and well. Lively from the Live Your Dreams football field. Basori is the venue. Of course, Combo East. This time around the area. Abdullah Balde into the gloves of the custodian. The goalkeeper for Fortune Football Club is Nuha Sanyang, and still in this fixture, Real de Banjul started this game with Lamin Sedi. In goal, Mustafa Nyasi, David Sambu, Ibrahim Akejata, Hassan Jiba, Ibunene Kasama, who scored the second goal, Alassana Sedi, Mustafa Baji, Momodu Jobate, Abdullah Baldes, Waibu Kebe got the fourth goal, and Fortune on the other end, starting with Noah Sanyang in goal, Ibrahim Ture, Bakari Sise, Sambujang Ture, Abdullah Tamba, Seni Jata, Ibuk Sanyang, Adam Akante, Salifu Koli, Gaira Juf, who is already being substituted and replaced by centre forward Dauda Dabo and Ferdinand Jata, completing the 11 for Fortune Football Club. and Fortune as usual under the guidance of Jane Juve. Mustafa Jaju is his immediate assistant. Ibrahim Jata is on the technical area for the champions and having the assistance of Ibrahim Cham. Of course, it is lively, and of course, it's a lively contest. This time, Asan Jiva trying to have his way out. This time now, drop that ball for the advancing players. This time, the players never had. Mustafa again, Salifu Koli, and this time Salifu Koli rewarded, and it's of course another furious technical area for head coach Ibrahim Jata. Ibrahim Jata, the head coach. Ibrahim Jata is definitely very much busy. Alongside Jane Juve on the other end, Ibrahim Jata heads against Dauda Dabo. This time it's not going to be a foul given by the central referee, and Dauda Dabo is against that decision. Saliu Jallo, of course, is a lively contest. A lot of fighting power in this second period, and it can go either way. Either Real de Banjul will win it, Fortune, or it's going to be share of the spoils at the late or at the Live Your Dreams football field in Basori.
This is what we expect, and you know they're showing us what we all come here for. That is, of course, having that fight. After every action, even from the third line, the two coaches as well. Sometimes they're shouting at the officials, very bitter on their players as well. But then it's an entrance stuff. There are players who are in Fortune that they want to settle a score. Real the Banjul that want to sell experience Real, but that we are with you. But this is what we have now. But in Real de Banjul, on their day, they can also change. That seem to believe us, despite it is a two all draw still. We played at 13 in the second half, but it is an interest of now Pafati. We might expect another goal. Earlier on, I told you we might expect goals in this game, and goals did gallo.
Of course, goals. We had 4 goals in this contest so far. 2 to the champions Real de Banjul and 2 to Fortune Football Club. Ferdinand Jata, the tall and lanky central defender, Fortune Rasul, rewarded by the central referee. On the other end, Fortune desperately in need. Of course, Fortune wouldn't want champions Real de Banjul to celebrate this victory against them. Anyway, it is 2-2, and 2-2 is the current score. Ibu Sanya, Ibu Seni Jata. It's another opportunity for champions Real de Banjul. Nuha Sanyang getting that ball off the area, and it's a massive clearance coming from the custodian Nuha Sanyang, currently in goal for Fortune Football Club. Ferdinand Jata dropping that ball. This time is an opportunity for Fortune. Play on, says the central referee. Ferdinand Jata. Is that going to be an opportunity for Fortune Football Club? Squares that ball on the far side. This is Salifu Koli around the edge. Salifu Rasul. Play on, says the central referee. It has been an end-to-end contest, and it's going to be another opportunity for champions Real de Banjul through Abdoulaye Balde. Balde Abdoulaye trying to go solo, looking for options. Rasul and already Ibrahim Toure just there in time to get that ball off the area. Of course, it has been a lively and interesting second half between champions Real de Banjul, and we will definitely see a lot of more interesting activities as far as this game is concerned.
At one point in time, it was a chance for Fortune with Salifu Koli, but early on the new substitute for Real de Banjul.
It's Abdoulaye Balde who strikes. Palmed away Podley around the edge. Suwaibu Kebe trying to connect the run of Ibunene Gassama around the area. Suwaibu Kebe strikes once again. This time is side netting. Lamin Jara interesting, or more interesting second half than the first period.
Yeah, when first versus second play, you expect to see a game like that in any league in the world. And Real are on the brink of becoming champions as things stand. A point will be enough. But Fortune will make sure that they have been the contenders all season, and they have been the team that have been dragging this all season. They are the reason why Real have not wrapped up the title for a long time now. So they will need one party to be done after this game, so they will throw everything they have at the champions. But again, that was a good strike at the other end. It's end-to-end stuff. We know Abdoulaye Balde Cavani can hit these things from distance. He has a deadly left foot, and the goalkeeper was equal to the task again. So it's a good second half after a good, very, very good first half. 4 goals in 45 minutes. The second half, no goal so far, but very lively. This you feel there is a goal in there. Looking at the speed at which these two teams are playing.
Thank you very much earlier on, Saliu Jallo, and of course Lamin Jara. Already there is a player down, and of course a player down injured for champions Real de Banjul, and currently having the assistance of the medics. Sadio Cisse and Aliou Jiba are currently warming up for the champions Real de Banjul, as they will be preparing to introduce more and more fresh legs. They will definitely want to wrap it up this afternoon in Basori if they are able to secure a victory or a point against second place Fortune Football Club, and Fortune fighting tooth and nail to possibly secure a massive victory. Of course, a massive victory against champions Real de Banjul, and the score is currently 2-2 in Basori. Champions Real de Banjul led in the first period before Fortune coming from 2 goals down to pull all the goals. Salifo Koli Salifo from the left to the right, trying to connect the run of Adama Kante on the far side. Too strong for Adama, and it's a goal kick for Real de Banjul. Lamin Sedi still giving instructions. Abdoulaye Balde is back on his feet. Cavani is his nickname. Abdoulaye Balde back on his feet. Aliou Jiba and Sadio Cisse are also warming up on the other end for the champions Real de Banjul. And it is currently game on in Basori. Where is the trophy heading to? Seemingly to the champions Real de Banjul, but we have to wait, Aliou Jallo. Currently, it is 2-2. Real de Banjul led in the very first minutes of the first half. And Fortune Football Club from 2 goals down, and parity is already restored in Basori.
Yes, absolutely. Right now, like, they have been strong. You know, despite conceding 2 goals, their morals were at one point in time down. Likewise, they keep on believing, they keep on going. You know, they keep on going. You know, drama here at the Basori football, at the Live Your Dreams football field. But then, like, it's an entrance stops. We are waiting for we are waiting for this day, as Jara mentioned earlier. And when first played against second, you know, we will see the best of football in this game. So this is the league for you. This is the Gambia league for you, where drama unfolds in every fixture.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. Lively contest, great second half between first and second place. Fortune 2, Real de Banjul 2. Ibrahima K. Jallo urging the central referee to play on. This time Sambujang Toure, central defender and team captain. Clearance, Dauda Dabo trying to collect that ball. This time Ibrahima K. Jallo. Bakari Cisse for Fortune. Bakari deployed on the left side of the defense, trying to go solo, looking for options this time around. Blocked in there by Mustafa Nya. Opportunity to deliver this throw in for the boys in all white. Champions Real de Banjul, dressed in all white, under the guidance of Ibrahima Jata. And Ibrahima is the head coach for Real de Banjul. Ibrahima Cham is his assistant, of course. Is Ibrahima Jata and Ibrahima Cham as first and second assistant coaches. For champions Real de Banjul, they will definitely want to seal it here against Fortune Football Club. And of course, a point will do. A point will do against Fortune. And Fortune Football Club will definitely want to, or wouldn't want to lose to champions Real de Banjul to be crowned champions of 2024-25 GFF Men's Division 1. Anyway, let's wait and see. Is it going to be a victory for Fortune champions Real de Banjul, or is going to be share of the sports? It is currently 2-2. Lamin Sedi, the team captain. Sedi, the custodian. Ibunene Kasama. It's going to be Jobate on the far side. Jobate trying to go solo, looking for options. Abdullah Tambas wins the ball! Saved badly by the goalkeeper. And wasted opportunity for the champions Real de Banjul. And Saliu Jallo, that should have been the 3rd goal for champions Real de Banjul. Unfortunately squandered the huge and glorious goal scoring opportunity on the far side. Mamadou Jobate is still down, and he is still down. And this should have been the 3rd goal for the champions Real de Banjul. But the opportunity wasted. Fortune Football Club on the far side. Adama Kante to Ibu Sanyang. Ibu Sanyang trying to go solo, caught out by Ibrahima K. Jata. This time solid defensive work. Ibrahima on a defensive work. Suwaibu Kebe spreading it wide. Player Rasul, and this time rewarded by the central referee, and the central referee will now call on the medics to come to the rescue of the player Mamadou Jobate, who is currently lying down on the far side and will need attention from the medics. Of course, a lively contest. It's a definitely a great second half between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. Of course, this game has all the ingredients to be given the name, the title decider. Of course, it's a title decider, and both sides are definitely going out for it.
Well, the Sostova is trying to amend his mistakes in the first half. You know, after giving away that ball, you know, 2 balls that, you know, made them to concede those 2 goals together with his defense line. But that save is just a top notch of a save. He was, of course, forced to that save. But then that could have been the 3rd goal for Real de Banjul to go ahead again. But what will be the difference, the story, if Fortune happened to take the lead?
What is going to be the story if Fortune Football Club is able to secure a victory against champions Real de Banjul at their own turf? Of course, in the last 5 fixtures played between Fortune Football Club and champions Real de Banjul, Fortune won none, Real won twice and drew thrice. It is currently a lively contest, and in the last 5 fixtures played between Fortune Football Club and champions Real de Banjul, 5 matches played. In the last meetings, Fortune won none, Real won twice, and is a draw in 3 of the fixtures. And the last 5 matches played by Fortune Football Club and champions Real de Banjul. Of course, Real de Banjul in their last fixture was a comfortable victory. There we go. Abdullah Tamba getting that ball for Fortune Football Club, trying to go solo from a defensive possession. Dauda Dabo into the gloves of the goalkeeper Lamin Sedi, who was just there in time. Of course, in the last game for the champions Real de Banjul defeated Falcons 4-0. Before the Falcons game, it was 2-0 victory over TMT. 0-0 against Greater Tomorrow. 1-1 against Marimo Parkfoot. Defeated BST Galaxy 2-1. And of course, in the last 5 matches, Real de Banjul won twice, drawn twice. Bakari Sise on a clearance, not a great one. On the far side is going to be a corner for Real de Banjul. Mustafa Nyasi seems to be the likely candidate to deliver this, and is of course going to be given to Abdullah Balde, and Balde will now have the opportunity to deliver the corner, and it's going to be a crowded penalty area for Fortune Football Club, and Fortune needs to defend this. Currently it is 2-2 in Basuri. Real de Banjul came from 2 goals down to possibly get this game to parity, and it is currently 2-2. Abdullah Tamba is currently nursing an injury, and he will now rely on the medics for assistance. It's a corner. Abdullah Tamba will slowly move back to his defensive position. Ball being taken forward. Solid header into the gloves of the custodian. Lively contest, great atmosphere in Basuri in the game between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. And Fortune, of course, in the last game secured a 1-0 victory over Hawks before the Hawks game. Lost 3-2 to TMT. 2-2 draw against Steve Biko. Defeated Marimo Parkfoot 1-0 at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, and also a 2-0 victory against Bombarda at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Back to Basuri. It is Sambujang Ture, team captain, on a defensive work. Swaibu Kebe trying to cause some problems. This time team captain wrestled and rewarded by the central referee. Lamin Jara, I think both sides are definitely trying to be very much cautious here. If they don't score, they wouldn't want to concede.
Yeah, if they don't score, they wouldn't want to concede. But I think it's Fortune's game to lose this. The score line suggests that if they want to drag this to the final games. Remember, after this we have 2 games to go, and Real will have 2 tricky tests, because they will play against Brikama United, and you feel in the last game they are playing, is it Team Rhino? So these are potential banana skins for them. So if it's a big moment for Fortune if they just were to try and get their noses in front in this, just to drag it to the next game, and I'll see what happens, and also take it to the other game. But again, so long as it's 2-2 and so long as this game is played like this, you feel it will come a time there will be jeopardy in it, and Fortune will begin to push all what they have, and the champions Real will just want the referee to blow the final whistle so that they can go and be crowned for the 3rd time running. But again, it's a good game, like I said, always in the second half. So you feel one good ball inside the penalty area can prove to be decisive. But again, in world football, most of the time the games that we have seen of such magnitude, after a firework in the first half, it's always a 0-0 in the second half, because both teams will be aware of the dangers of going behind in the second half, because that could be a hammer blow.
That could be a hammer blow from a colleague and brother. Of course, Lamin Chara from the Live Your Dreams football field in Basuri, the home of the champions Real de Banjul, is the title decider. Champions Real de Banjul up against second place Fortune Football Club. And this is currently a delivery. Salifu Koli to deliver. Scored the second goal for Fortune Football Club. On the far side will now have the opportunity. And it is a giant wall, of course, assembled by champions Real de Banjul. Salifu Koli to deliver. Floats that ball, long and high one. This time is a header. The goalkeeper equal to the task. Lamin said he just there in time to get that ball off the area, and it's going to be a corner. And it's a corner for Fortune Football Club, who continue to search and search for the 3rd. Will Fortune Football Club be able to get the 3rd? Remains to be seen. Desperately in search. It is Ibu Sanyang, Salifu Koli, former Real de Banjul players Ibu Sanyang and Salifu Koli. Ibu trying to go solo, looking for options. Ibu trying to dribble past a group of players already dispossessed, and of course it's a goal kick to champions Real de Banjul, and of course it is currently 2-2 in Basuri. Real de Banjul led. Fortune came from 2 goals down, and of course any moment from now we're going to see double substitution coming from champions Real de Banjul, Aliou Jiba and Sadio Cisse. And the 2 players line up for substitution. We're going to see the substitution, of course, the withdrawal of 2 tired legs, and also the introduction introduction rather of two fresh legs. Abdullah Balde around here strikes into the gloves of the custodian Lamin Jara.
Yeah, straight to the goalkeeper. You expect the goalkeeper to make that save. You know, at least he could have placed it at least to give him something to think about. But the ball was straight at him and he gathered it convincingly. Those are saves that we expect them to make. Well, in the second half, you know, Fortune have made the substitutions, and you see the former Real de Banjul player when he has come in, he has been a complete nuisance, an absolute pest at the right hand side, and it's time now for Ibrahima, of course, Jata to also make some substitutions, and they are lining up two now.
Thank you very much, Lamin Jara. An interesting second half between Fortune and champions Real de Banjul. Double substitution await for the champions Real de Banjul. Aliou Jiba and Sadio Cisse. Aliou and Sadio will be introduced. Who are they replacing? We have to wait. But anyway, it's a set piece for Fortune and Salifou Koli to deliver. Salifou Koli to deliver that set piece once again. And it is definitely lively on and off the pitch. We're also having the support base behind champions Real de Banjul, who will definitely be crowned champions if they are able to pick a point against Fortune Football Club. Salifou Koli to deliver. Two-man wall assembled by champions Real de Banjul. Fortune Football Club will try to get something from this. We're currently having a crowded penalty area, having the tall and lanky players for Fortune Football Club around the area. This time around, Fortune Football Club came close. Another opportunity, squandered the opportunity. Aliou Jiba will be introduced and Sadio Cisse, who is coming off. And it is already a substitution. Abdullah Balde is one of the players to be taking off. And another player to come off is Alassane Seydi. Alassane Seydi and Abdullah Balde are coming off for Fortune and will be introduced. Or Fortune, not Fortune anywhere. It is the champions Real de Banjul and Aliou Jiba and Sadio Cisse, introduced by champions Real de Banjul. Two tired legs off, two fresh legs introduced. Lively moments. Great second half. Who is going to win it? Is it going to be a victory for champions Real de Banjul or Fortune Football Club, or share of the spoils between these two sides? Of course, this game has all the ingredients. To be called a title decider. Champions Real de Banjul led. Fortune came from 2 goals down. It is currently parity restored. It is now Ibrahima K. Jata. Ibu Sanya dropping that ball down. Trying to connect Seni Jata and Seni Rasold. Seni rewarded. Abdullah Tamba will have the opportunity. Busy technical area. Jenju very busy on his technical area. Ibrahima Jata once again. Fortune to start the play from their own half. It's a very furious technical area for head coach Ibrahima Jata. Lamin Jara, Ibrahima seems not to be happy after seeing his side led in the first period, and Fortune were able to recover all the goals. But currently, he constantly complaining against the decision of the central referee.
Yeah, you know, he will not be a happy man right now because when they were 2-0 up, you thought there was going to be a platform for them to go all the way and run riot, you know, in games like this. You know, it was well in their hands and everything. It was there for them to win it comfortably and convincingly. You know, like I said, when I came in, when it was said that it was 2-0, I said this was game over. It's a matter of how many goals will they want to score. But credit to Fortune how they went about it. They negated all the threat in the best part of the first half, got themselves on level terms, and then of course in the second half they've come in and they've made it a 50-50 thing. It's like you attack and we attack. They're resting on their laurels. They're not defending for a point because they know that the point is not enough for them. And now it's about, you know, end to end. You attack us, we attack you. We have seen tired legs and tired minds, and the managers on 2 occasions have made the substitution. So it's still game on par.
Thank you very much, Lamin Jara, and we have already played 30 minutes unofficial according to our unofficial clock. 30 minutes unofficial as the central referee and the officials are with the official timing, and it is still Real de Banjul 2, Fortune Football Club 2. Ibrahima Toure heads that ball on the far side. Another opportunity, Hassan Jiba to deliver once again. And Hassan deployed on the left side of the defense for the champion, Swaibu Kebe. Swaibu Rasold. Is that going to be an opportunity? Kebe trying to go solo, looking for options. This time around, penalized by the central referee, and it is a Fortune throw in on the far side. Ibrahima Jata is complaining constantly to the officials, and it's a clearance coming from Ferdinand Jata, one of the central defenders, Fortune Football Club. Ibrahima Toure with a clearance, trying to connect the run of Dauda Dabo up front, back to the custodian Lamin Seydi. And Lamin is the custodian for the champions and also Nobles are the team captain for the Real de Banjul side, and it is currently Real de Banjul 2, Fortune Football Club 2, and Lamin said he wouldn't be in any hurry. Lamin said he wouldn't be in any hurry, and a point will definitely do for champions Real de Banjul, and Real de Banjul will be crowned champions if they are able to secure a point against Fortune Football Club. Mustafa Anyasi. Mustafa operating on the right side. Abdullah Tamba just there in time. Caught that ball out. It's another opportunity. Real de Banjul dressed in all white. And before this contest, Real de Banjul leading the chart on 55 points. Second, Fortune Football Club on 47. Falcons on third with 45. Brikama United on 39. Heart FC 5th with 39 points. Steve Biko 6th with 37. Hawks FC on 7. This time around on the far side is a goal kick. Hawks FC on 7th with 37 points. Bombarda on 8th with 36. BST Galaxy 9th with 36, TMT 10th with 32, TMT 10th with 32, Team Rhino rather 11th with 31, Gambian Dutch Lions 12th with 28 points, Greater Tomorrow 13th with 28 points, Gambia Armed Forces 14th with 28, Banjul United of course on 15th 24, and Marimo Park Food currently on the foot of the table with 16 points. And seemingly Lamin Jara, there might be a twist, but anyway, Banjul United and Marimo seems to be the likely teams to possibly get to the drop zone. If we are to have any of the teams to be heading to the second division, one might tell you it might be Banjul United and Marimo Park Food, who this season have been struggling to accumulate victories as far as the GFF Men's Division 1 is concerned.
Yeah, at the moment it looks like, but with the results elsewhere, with the scoreline elsewhere, it's like Banjul United are currently putting themselves on pole position, at least to survive this relegation scrap, because as things stand, they are leading by a goal to nil, and that will just take them to within one of Greater Tomorrow, who are currently losing by a goal to nil. So Greater Tomorrow will remain on 28 points if things goes like that, and if it ends like that. That was a good chance from Fortune, and the goalkeeper was absolutely scrambling. He was scrambling to close the space. Otherwise, if that were on target, it would have at least given him something to think about. So the relegation scrap will go right down to the wire, because as I said, as things stand, Greater Tomorrow are losing by a goal to nil, and Banjul United are leading by a goal to nil. So you feel, if this ends like that, then the next two games will be wide open.
The next two games will definitely be interesting, and those games will be coming on Saturday and Wednesday respectively. Of course, champions Real de Banjul and Real de Banjul. Up next, we'll play Brikama United at the Boxbar Mini Stadium on Saturday, June 21st, before hosting Team Rhino in the final game of the GFF Men's Division 1 on Wednesday, June 25th. Whilst Fortune Football Club will host Gambia Armed Forces on Saturday 21st, before hosting once again Banjul United in the final game. Ibu Sanyang currently on the ball. Giant wall assembled by champions Real de Banjul, and Ibu Sanyang is currently on the ball. There's already two walls. There's a wall for Fortune Football Club and also another wall for champions Real de Banjul. Ibu Sanyang to deliver. Ibu Sanyang strikes. Blocked in there by the defenders of Real de Banjul. Another header. Ibrahim Akejata heads that ball. Hassan Jiba. And already the flag is up, and the flag is already up and up against Fortune Football Club. And we believe there should be this communication device here, because whenever there's an action, then that has to be communicated. I think the fourth assistant referee has to shout to the central referee to definitely know what is really going on.
Yeah, so we did talk about Pro League next year, which you begin to wonder whether it's too soon to go in for it, because one of the requirements you feel for us to have a very good league should be the communication gadgets for the referees. Look, this is our top flight. This is what we have, and you had Ibrahim Jata at one point in time. He was shouting at the officials, telling them this is not Nawetan, this is top league, this is top division football. And again, the linesman at the right hand side has raised his flag up, and it took some 30 to 40 seconds before the referee knew that it was an offside, and the fourth official and everybody in the Real technical bench had to shout to say offside before he knew that it was offside to blow the whistle. So I think exactly this is what we were talking about. We want to go for Pro League next year. Is it possible? That's $1 million question. But issues like this will begin you to wonder, is it possible?
Thank you very much, Lamin Jara. And of course, time is definitely running out. And running out for both champions, Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club. Of course, 36 minutes unofficial in the second half. We have under 9 minutes of normal time plus additional minutes to decide the winner between Fortune Football Club or say of the Spoils in Basuri. Currently on the far side, the medics are already on the pitch having the assistance on one of the Fortune players. We can confirm central referee Ibrahim Janko Sama is also not very far from the scene as he is currently trying to gauge the injury to the player in question. Adam Akante is the player, back on his feet but currently limping on the other end after the assistance of the medics, and of course it's a busy technical area for golfers. Gain Juve wouldn't want to lose it. Bernard Silva warming up on the far side. Real de Banjul will also have another introduction. Of course it's going to be double substitution once again for the champions, who are definitely trying to secure maximum points against Fortune Football Club, but a point will definitely do. A point will definitely crown Real de Banjul champions of 2024-25 GFF Men's Division 1. Abdullah Tamba in their own half, dropping that ball low. Ibu Sanyang. Clearance from Mustafa Nyasi. Ibu Sanyang with a header, and it's going to be an opportunity, champions. Mustafa Nyasi to deliver. Mustafa Nyasi is operating on the right side of the defense for champions Real de Banjul. Not a very good clearance. Aliu Jiba. Aliu around the center circle. Aliu lost possession. Seni Nyasi or Seni Jata. Seni trying to connect the run of Adam Akante on the far side. Any moment from now, central referee will surely give the green light. Aliu Jiba rustled once again. Nothing given by the central referee. Adam Akante surge forward. Can they get something now? Fortune Football Club. Adam Akante trying to connect the run of Dauda Dabo up front. And the ball is too strong for Dauda, eludes every other player. You are struggling, we know, but we will surely engage you. Of course, it is a lively contest, a lively second half between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune Football Club.
Look at the face of Ibrahim Achata Jigs. It defines a disjointed Real de Banjul in the second half around the center circle. Just look at him right now. He isn't happy with the way the players are adhering to the game plan that is placed right before them. To capitalize on. Look at the counter attack. Look at the through ball that is given to, of course, Adama. He could have, of course, do something better than that. You know, just taking a quick decision. He could have, of course, drive the ball inside the 18-yard box and try to create something there. But then the fight around the center circle is now. Of course, the percentage, the 90% is now over to Fortune, but they have to dictate the play now. And you look at the ball, the intersection that they are doing is a top notch. The goalkeeper is kind of being a spectator in these final minutes of the second half party.
Double substitution once again. Momodu Jobate taking off and Ibunene Gasama also taking off.
Of the first half, and he's doing that.
Of course. And they are being replaced by Omar Juve and of course Mohamed Sanyang for the champions. Real de Banjul time definitely is their very big. Of course, Real de Banjul scoreline, they will be crowned champions, while Fortune Football Club will definitely want to get a goal to possibly force this game down the wire. Of course, as far as the battle for the GFF Men's Division 1 is concerned. Swaibu Kebe Rasul and given by the central referee. Sambujang Ture protested against that. Given the opportunity to champions Real de Banjul, and Real de Banjul are definitely on course of securing their third straight league trophy as far as the league competition is concerned.
We mentioned this. Is there any strong competitor in the league? They might point fingers at Brikama United, Fortune and Co. But then, like the way Real de Banjul are winning the league, it's not a delight to many. It might be a dismay. But then, like, what have they done that other teams are not doing? We have to ask questions, especially on that. But then, at their own part, they have utilized Basori, their home ground. Like, the winning mentality is part and parcel of Basori, and that is a set piece.
Aliu Jiba, desperately clear.
Yeah, Fortune them. You look at Fortune, they will tell you, well, let's settle for the the second spot again, like that is the second position in the first division. But then I did mention this: Real Banjul winning this title 3 times in a row. It might give for other teams a mountain to climb to break this record. You know, they're setting the bar high, and they have already turned the league in their, it's like in their own way now. It's their own mantra. You know, early on we have seen other writings on the wall that, you know, people are criticizing the way they win the league, married to Harga Fufa. I will not mention that Harga Fufa in English, but then if you don't understand the time, it's up to you. But then they will tell you we play football, and that is it, and that is what is winning us the league. But look at all the updates. Momodu Gajaga was a victim of that Harga Fufa, and the rest is history.
And the rest is history. Hassan Jiba on the far side for champions Real de Banjul. Spreads it forward. Sadio Cisse floats that ball into the gloves of the custodian. Any moment from now, Bernard Silva will be introduced. Will be coming on for Fortune Football Club in the final moments of this crucial and lively game. Of course, is the title decider. Fortune 2, Real de Banjul 2. Fortune desperately in need of a goal here. And if they are able to get a goal here, this will surely put pressure on champions Real de Banjul as they face Brikama United in the next fixture around the area. Is another opportunity Real de Banjul. Swaibu Kebe, who broke the deadlock in this contest around the area this time. Any moment from now to be Adama Kante to be taking off. Anyway, and Adama Kante will be introduced or replaced by Bernard Silva any moment from now. Lamin Jara, seemingly the champions are definitely on course in securing their 3rd straight league trophy, and if they are to do that this season, I believe that seems to be serious. And if they are to do that with a point against Fortune Football Club, which Fortune we didn't want, and seemingly if Fortune definitely don't want that to happen, they definitely need to get the 3rd goal to possibly deprive the champions Real de Banjul from securing their 3rd straight victory against them.
Yeah, by our watch, we have 2 minutes of normal time remaining, plus whatever is going to be added on, and you feel this is so close for the champions. I mean, I'm Real, and this will be a 3rd time, you know, in 3 years, and of course 15 in club history, and then they will be just within one of Walidan, if I am right. And again, you look at this, Fortune have been good contenders for the greater part of the season, although at one point in time, you know, they feel they could have done better, you know. Some couple of weeks ago here, they were 2-0 down against Steve Pico, and they came back. And again, that 3-2 loss against TMT was a hammer blow in their title race. But again, whatever happens, they can go back and look at the season and say there were a lot of positives, although there were a lot of hiccups here and there, some difficult moments, but somehow they were able to finish the season high. You know, they lost the first game against the champions, but here they are coming from 2 goals down on a day in which all what they need is to either delay the title party or at least show character that they are a big team, and they have shown character. For the first 45 minutes they have been great. In the second half, hadn't been it weren't some goalkeeping heroics, they would have been leading by 3 goals to 2 by now. So it has been a good game from both teams, especially Fortune in the second half.
Especially from Fortune in the second period, and of course seemingly we're going to see 4 minutes of additional time. 4 minutes of additional time. 4 minutes for champions Real de Banjul to hold on. 4 minutes for Real de Banjul to score, hold on, and also Fortune Football Club to possibly have the chance to get the 3rd goal to possibly deprive the champions from celebrating the trophy at their own turf in Basori this afternoon. Salu Jallo, 4 minutes added on, and it is still game on. Real de Banjul can still have a goal, Fortune can have a goal, but it can also be share of the spoils. And if it should stay like this, it's going to be celebrations for Real de Banjul to be crowned champions of this year's GFF Men's Division 1.
Well, that was one of the goal scorers for Fortune that passed just here. That is Adama Kante, to be precise. But then, yes, as you mentioned, I haven't get a glimpse of your question, but I was looking at the conversation between Ibu Sanyang and of course Lamin Saidi, the showstopper. Well, remember, we only seen one yellow card in this game. But then, as Jara mentioned early on, well, it it's gonna be a story on another night for Fortune. But then it seems to be like the trophy is already heading to the holders. You know, one side of that is well done. 15 league titles in their trophy cabin. The Sandango style of football is still in them. That is Real de Banjul. That is what they are married to. Since the early days of older players that pass through, you know, they will tell you the Real de Banjul that we know, we are married to titles. You know, and having 2 opportunities in this season, it might not come next season, but it's an opportunity that is given to them to go on to win the title, and of course the league title and then the FF Cup. Can they do it? Well, Ibrahim Ajad alias Jigs will be into the history books of Real de Banjul, and he will be remembered.
He will of course be remembered, and into the final moments at the Leave Your Dreams football field. Sergio Cisse on the far side, trying to cause some problems, twisting and turning, dropping that ball for the advancing player on the far side. It's Hassan Jiba, and Hassan wrestled and rewarded, and you could hear the claps and claps coming from the supporters of champions Real de Banjul in anticipation for that celebration. A point will do.
I'm telling you, there will be captioned as the champions elect. But if the scoreline remains too old, they will not be happy how it ended, because leading 2-0, you know, less than 10 minutes to go in the second in the end of the first half, and you conceded 2 goals within a blink of an eye. You know, they will tell you goalkeepers or strikers win your matches, but defenders win your titles. But that was a sloppy defense line that Fortune capitalized on. Hadn't been they stood firm like how the ambience is going on, they could have been running riot against Fortune here. But the ambience is the most important part right now for Real de Banjul. You know, they have been with them, married to them. You know, on their route to glory, 2023, 2024, they were with them.
It is an opportunity for Real de Banjul to of course win the league, and of course winning the league against Fortune Football Club. And already Seni Jata is rewarded. Lamin Jara into the final moments, and any moment from now the central referee will of course bring an end to this contest between Fortune and champions Real de Banjul. Of course, Saliu Jallo earlier mentioned it. Of course, Real de Banjul will definitely celebrate the victory, but they might not be very much happy with the way it ended here. They were leading 2-0. Fortune FC came from 2 goals down to at least out to restore parity. But anyway, Lamin Sedi this time around, he's been rewarded by the central referee. Champions Real de Banjul might won it, but you know, to many, they might tell you they might not be very happy with the way it ended in Basuri.
Well, party night, pa, just do the homework, and what else do you need? They came here knowing that the homework is simple. Don't concede defeat and you will be champions. And they scored 2 and let it go. So one thing is for sure, we know that they have known that if they don't lose it, they are not going to lose. They're going to be champions, and that's what they have done. Being happy or not being happy, it's party night, it's party mood. You know, one thing that makes it remarkable is it's a 2-2 draw. You know, first half was explosive, the second half so quiet, even though there were chances all over. But again, they started the season as champions. You know, right now they are league leaders and still the champions of the land power.
It is all over in Basuri, and it is over in Basuri, and of course the champions confirm Real de Banjul are the champions of the GFF Men's Division 1 after picking a point against Fortune Football Club. Of course, against Fortune Football Club, and Real de Banjul of course are the champions and the champions of the land at the 3rd straight consecutive time. Lamin Jara, of course, you could see the celebrations coming from the entire technical bench of champions Real de Banjul. Confirmed they are the champions for the 3rd straight time.
Yeah, they've done it with 2 games to spare. Nobody is even coming close. Even the team today, you know, Fortune will never come close again, and nobody is catching them. Why not? They've done it in style at the beginning of the season. Although, you know, when they played the Super Cup against Medina, it was not that with the best of Real de Banjuls, and people began to wonder if they struggle against a second division side, how are they going to cope in defending their title and make it a unprecedented 3rd league title in a row. But here they've gone, they've passed every assignment, and they've come here on a day in which all what they needed was the solitary point to be crowned champion for the 3rd year running, and they have done it. So it has been magnificent. It's been a brilliant season for them, and for Fortune, like we said, you know, they are embracing in there, they are hugging, the players are just doing the the post-match greetings to congratulate one another. It has been a great season for them as well. We said it earlier, although from the onset, Real had been just Real, and Fortune can go back and look at this and say, yes, I think next year we can also give it another crack. So, good game.
Good game, and it is all over, and it is all over in Basori, and it ended 2-all, of course, 2-all between champions Real de Banjul and Fortune. Real led courtesy of Swaibu Kebe and Ibunene Gassama. Adama Kante pulled one back for the Petroleum Boys before Fortune Football Club Salifu Koli in the second to restore parity, and of course restore parity in Basori, and of course this is where we're going to cabin. Lamin Chara, Saliu Jalo, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Until then, this is where we go complex in Basori till we come your way again.